Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Caster, and in this one we are going through everything freighters. These colossal interstellar ships in No Man's Sky were brought to the game all the way back in the Foundation update 2016 when the game launched. So they have been in the game a very long time. Lots of updates to the freighters have happened since then, and they've become, in my opinion, a great part of the game. I do love the freighters. They vary in type, size and class, including technology and cargo sizes. Similar to regular starships, they can be brought, exchanged or acquired for free early game under certain parameters. Freighters come in 3 different designs which are fixed depending on the type of freighter. So we have system freighters, one of which I have in my system with me somewhere. There he is over there. So system freighters are sort of varied in their shape and size. So you have that kind of thing there, and you have this one over here. They look a little bit different, and that's because you can have sort of different components of them, but they're mainly named typically for the front section, and they are found, these ones, more regularly than the other two, and they are found across many of the controlled race systems or race controlled systems. So they are absolutely everywhere. The other type is a capital freighter. So capital freighters come in one of 2 designs. So you've got the Sentinel or Vector designs, and they vary in the midsection in terms of size. They only spawn with a freighter battle event, and these freighters, even though they're called capital freighters, it's kind of a bit confusing when you have your own freighter, which is also called a capital freighter, but that's just what they're referred to. They do have larger inventory sizes compared to system freighters. They always spawn with larger inventory sizes, so they are, in my opinion, a bit better than system freighters. And then you have the third type, which is the one in front of you here, which is a pirate/dreadnought freighter, whichever one you want to call it. This is a single design and it only spawns in freighter battle events. It's always attacking a capital freighter, which is called a merchant freighter as well. Max inventory ranges and max inventory upgrade limits match those of capital freighters. So they are, in my opinion, the best freighters in the game. Obviously, they are the newest brought to the game. Back in the Outlaw update, I think it was called. And I've customized the one in front of me here, which we'll come on to in a bit. So to obtain a freighter, you get this regular rescue event, and this always involves a capital freighter except for the first 2 times, and they are system freighters the first 2 times. So this is where a bunch of pirates are attacking a freighter and you have to kill all the pirates. They always have a red starship trail, and I'd just say here, be careful not to shoot the allied ships or the freighter which is in distress. Because I found that when I accidentally do that, they attack me. Now, some people have said that doesn't happen. So let me know whether that happens to you or not. Because it certainly happens to me from time to time. Once you've defeated them, you'll get a communication signal, which will be picked up by your starship. Answer the call and they will direct you to the freighter. Head to the bridge, speak to the captain, and you'll have the chance to obtain the freighter. You don't have to take it. If you don't want it, you can opt for the reward, which is 1 cargo bulkhead in this case. A race increased standing of 2 to 3, 2 to 300 nanites, and 3 to 500 gold. As I said, you do not have to take this first freighter. Okay, another rescue event will occur, and that one will also be free. They will be free until you take your first freighter. If you wait until the 3rd freighter battle, you will get a capital freighter, which it's just better. Has better sizing, cargo and technology, and looks better, in my opinion, than the system freighters. There are prerequisites for this rescue event to occur. Okay, you have to have progressed past ghosts in the machine storyline missions, and you must have your space combat setting on. Okay, it cannot be none. If you have your space combat setting to none, you will not get any space battles. Okay, so make sure that is not set to none. You have to have at least 3 hours of unpaused gameplay, meaning 3 hours in-game, not 3 hours continuous unpaused gameplay, so you can still pause the game and log in or out, and it doesn't reset the 3 hours. You must also have 5 Starship Warp since the last rescue event. There are 2 ways in which this rescue event can occur. The first way is from post-warp. When you drop out of warp into a new system, you are presented with a freighter under attack from pirates, or you'll get a distress beacon icon come up on your starship, and it will say that there's a freighter in distress, and you can choose whether to fly over and participate in that rescue event. I don't get that very often anymore, so let me know if you do. I don't seem to. So that is for the system and capital freighters. For the pirate dreadnought freighter event, it's a little bit different. This always involves a capital freighter under attack by a pirate dreadnought. As far as I can tell, this is always a post-warp event. The attack is executed by a bunch of raiders and a pirate dreadnought firing laser turrets at them. Multiple pirate frigates will be launching missiles or torpedoes, whichever you want to call them. The prerequisites for this event are progression past the ghosting machine, so it's basically the same as the rescue event. However, you need to own a freighter. Okay, you will not get the pirate dreadnought event unless you own a freighter. You still need the 3 hours in-game play, not continuous gameplay. You need the 5 warps as well for this to trigger. However, it can trigger separately gameplay timer in certain outlaws and tier 3 conflict level systems. So in my playthrough recently, I had 3 warps in a row where I had a pirate freighter event. So it can happen that it just happen over and over again. It just depends where you're going, what you're doing, how many warps you're doing, etc. And obviously, what I mean by that, it depends what you're doing. It depends what system you're going to. So they can be different, especially with the conflict level. So how do you complete this event? Well, when you warp in and you see all those fighters and you see the frigates sending torpedoes or missiles off to the capital/merchant freighter there, just ignore them and go straight for the dreadnought. Okay, take out the engines at the rear of the freighter. This will prevent it from fleeing. Fly through both trenches located on the deck sides and destroy all the shield generators. Take out the turrets that are firing lasers at the merchant starship. Take out the turrets and the pirate freighter will surrender. When I do this, I find that I destroy the engines and then I destroy either the shields or the laser turrets and it surrenders. I don't have to do both the shields and the laser turrets, so let me know if that's the same for you. You can also just do this by just shooting the hull and dealing a load of damage to the hull as well. It will also surrender, but make sure you shoot those engines because otherwise it will flee. And then you won't have a chance of destroying it or owning it. Once it's surrendered, you have the following options. Okay, you dock with the dreadnought, speak to the captain to either purchase the freighter for free, replacing your old one. The first pirate dreadnought freighter is always free. Or you can demand a tribute, and it says 5 to 10 million units here. I always get 6,700,000 units, just above that really, but 6,700 units. Let me know if you've got anything different. Once you've won the battle, you can also speak to the pirate frigates and purchase the ones you want, depending on whether you have the units or not. If I go over here, back to the merchant freighter that's sitting over here, speak to one of these. I speak to you. Yeah, look, we're getting the incoming message here. And now we can speak to him. And we can expect the frigates. And it's a B class, it's not too bad. 3.639 million units. I'm just going to buy this one. Why not? And now he will be a part of my fleet over here. So he's become part of my frigate fleet. So you can purchase frigates from any freighter that you find in a system, from a destroyed dreadnought freighter as well. And just to make a little note here, okay, if you do purchase a new freighter and replace your old one, any base you may have made in your freighter will transfer across to your new one, along with your frigate fleet, your squadron, and any unlocked research. An option will appear asking if you want to transfer your base or not, so you can start your base again if you want to, or just transfer your old one. But make sure you push the cargo from your frigate, from your freighter into your new freighter. Because if you don't do that, you'll lose all the cargo. And make sure you uninstall all of your tech from your old freighter and put it in one of your cargo slots in your exosuit, your starship, or even in the storage units that you may have in your base in your freighter, because they won't automatically go through. You'll lose all of that. Okay, and you will also lose any inventory slot upgrades that you had in your old freighter. So that will be like, you know, your tech slots and your cargo slots, they will all disappear. You'll have to redo that in your new one. And as well as destroying and going through all these battles, destroying the pirate dreadnought, you can also just walk up to this one. So I can just walk up to this freighter over here, which isn't doing anything, and attempt to purchase that for units. So just walk up or fly up, dock in it, go speak to the captain, and then ask to purchase 4 units and replace this one with that one, which I'm not going to do. So we mentioned the rewards for rescuing the freighter by defeating the pirate starships. That was 1 cargo bulkhead, nanites, units, gold, and 3 points of increased standing with the race. By rescuing a freighter, by making the pirate dreadnought retreat, you get units and increased race standing. So that's if the pirate dreadnought warps away. For rescuing the freighter by annihilating the dreadnought freighter, that is 3 cargo bulkheads or S-class salvaged fleet units, upgrades, or nanites units, and 6 to 8 points of increased race standing. And when it comes to the S-class upgrades for the freighter, in my how to get S-class upgrades for freighter video, what I find is that I have to let the merchant freighter, the capital freighter, die in that battle it's having with the pirate dreadnought to get any kind of S-class upgrade. If the merchant freighter survives, I do not get the S-class upgrade. I get the 3 cargo bulkheads, the nanites, the units, and they're standing. I do not get the S-class salvage fleet unit upgrade. Just make you aware of that. Also, if I was to walk over here and destroy this freighter, just shoot it up, I would also get, I believe I'd also get an S-class upgrade. If I remember correctly, please let me know down in the comments. But you also get hit with decrease in race standing, which isn't the end of the world, but nonetheless. And you'll also get sentinels after you and stuff in this system, so sentinel ships, etc. And if you start shooting those, then the stars will get higher like it does when you're fighting sentinels on a planet. So just be aware of that. There's also 2 other types of freighters, which are crashed or sunken freighters and derelict freighters. So crashed or sunken freighters are freighters which have crashed on a planet and can be looted for decent items and resources. And derelict freighters can be found by acquiring an emergency scanner from Helios at the anomaly. They have lots of rewards and dangers as you search inside the freighter and learn of its demise from the logs left behind by the crew. One thing to note about derelict freighters is that once you find one in a system using that anomaly scanner or emergency scanner, you'll find the same one if you did it again in the system. So you might want to warp to another system if you're going to do like 1 or 2 of them, you know, 3 of them as you go. So if we go into my dreadnought freighter here, this is what you'll see. You'll come in and you'll see the hangar, and there's 9 hangar slots, if you like, for starships. And you can have a maximum of 12 starships as a player in your starship inventory, whatever you want to call it. And you can have 6 visible at any one time in your freighter hangar. Okay, the other 3 are there for traders to come in, other starships to come in and have a look around. Let me know if that is still the case. That's what I believe it is still the case. So you get some NPCs coming in. Nice big hangar here. You can recycle your starships, by the way, by pressing the down button on your D-pad here, or whatever the corresponding thing is on the keyboard and mouse. Going over to your summon vehicles, go across to select other ship, and then your starships will come up. I've only got 3 at the moment, but nonetheless, I can bring them in if I want. You then have a bunch of stairs. Stairs will take you to the bridge, but we can also just use these teleporters. Go into here, use the teleporters, and we are on the bridge. Now, just like any other thing in No Man's Sky that you have, whether it is your exosuit, your starship, or multi-tool, this isn't the one I'm using now, I just wanted to get rid of my staff because it was in the way. Your freighter can also have upgrades, okay? And how to look for these upgrades? Well, if we go onto the bridge here, we've got this terminal, which I'll go into more detail about in a minute. We can go to the upgrade control here, click on it, add additional storage. I've already got full storage for this freighter, so that's very nice. Got base parts and upgrades here. Here is the upgrades you can get. Now, the S-class rewards you get from the pirate freighters and the merchant freighters They are not part of this. You kind of have to collect them and fit them in. These are craftable blueprints, and as you can see here, there is a resonance matrix which will get you to purple stellar bodies. To be able to get this, you have to have completed the In Stellar Multitudes storyline, and this will be automatically available here. It will not appear here, as far as I'm aware, before you do that. Alright, you have to do that first. Then you've got this one lets you to blue, and you've got green and red, just like the starship. And of course, the purple gets you to all coloured systems. The blue gets you to all apart from purple. The green gets you to all apart from blue and purple. And the red gets you to all apart from green, blue and purple, etc. This one gets you to yellow. You normally have that one in, as far as I'm aware, I think. And then you've got these two, which are added upgrades. To be able to see the economy and conflict levels in the galaxy map, using the galaxy map here in your freighter, it's called the freighter warp map. And it's just the same as the galaxy map you get from your starship here. We expand it, we can see we've got the economy, conflict, the race, etc. All of those details we know from the the galaxy map you get to in your starship. To be able to see the economy and conflict, we need to have the interstellar scanner fitted. That basically does the same thing as your cargo, your economy and conflict scanner. All of these technologies are purchased by having frigate modules. Okay, frigate modules can be acquired from crashed or sunken freighters, derelict freighters, nexus missions, and frigate expeditions. We'll come on to frigate expeditions in a bit. You can also get them from the guild merchant in the space station for free, as far as I'm aware, if your standing is high enough. And you can also get them by attacking NPC freighters' cargo containers. But just like attacking a merchant freighter for no reason, you'll get attention from the sentinels, and this will reduce your race standing. There's also these bits here, which is a temporary frigate upgrade. Okay, you got mind control device, a fuel oxidizer, and it tells you what it does. So the mind control device, a temporary frigate upgrade that lasts one expedition. The mind control device plugs into the ship's trading and communication systems, allowing the fleet commander to gain the upper hand in any negotiation, and it tells you what they do as they go across. These are one-use items for your frigate expeditions, which I'll come on to in a bit. You've also got frigate fuel here, which you can learn. And then you've got the freighter construction modules in this capital ship research station. And then you've got freighter colouring or recolouring, which I have used to customise my freighter, sorry. Then you've got the craftable blueprints again. So not much in there, but important stuff as far as we are concerned. If we go into our freighter core, cargo and tech area here, you can see that mine's only an A class, but I'm happy with that. I don't need much more than that. You can see that we have the freighter hyperdrive, and this is filled with the warp cell and the warp hypercore, as you'd expect, just the same as your starship. Nothing else there. We have one S-class upgrade here, which is expedition mining ability. So because I have this upgrade and supercharged, plus 44%, that's not bad, is it? I might want to consider prioritizing mining expeditions. So they add a lot to your expeditions should you get upgrades for your freighter, those S-class upgrades. So these salvaged freighter modules, these can be found on derelict freighters and installed in your freighter's technology inventory to boost the stats of your fleet for frigates during frigate expeditions. At the engineering core unit of the derelict freighters, you can choose to obtain a freighter upgrade module. One of the 7 now showing on screen will be dispensed. Note, a freighter's class can... So these salvaged freighter modules, these can be found on derelict freighters. They're installed in your freighter's technology inventory to boost the stats of your fleet for frigates during frigate expeditions. As you can see here, I've put this in a supercharged slot, and it's plus 44% to expedition mining ability. So I might want to prioritize some mining expeditions with my frigates. If I put it in here, it's just 15, so it's actually supercharged it quite a bit, more than 50%. So that's really good, and it tells you what it does at the top there. The unit offers improvements of the industrial abilities of all expeditions, so that's quite nice. Just a note here, the actual class itself of the freighter cannot be upgraded. This is an S class, it will stay an S class. This is an A class, it will stay an A class. There's no way I can upgrade this other than finding a new freighter and exchanging it. So a freighter's inventory size varies depending on the class of freighter. So according to No Man's Sky Wiki, 60 inventory slots for C class, 80 inventory slots for B, 100 for A, and 120 for S. If I count up my inventory slots here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is fully stacked out, this one. Then we go down here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, there is 100 there. So that kind of makes sense. So if we had an S class, it'd be 20 more inventory slots. But I don't need that, to be honest, and I'll show you why in a bit. But we do have all of this unlocked as well, the tech section. So hoping to get more tech into there. And the reason why I don't really need the 120, I'm happy with 100, is because if you have a base in your freighter, which I always do because I love having a base in a freighter personally. If you look at the top here, we've got core, and then we've got storage containers. If I go across, these are my base storage containers, right? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fitted here. So I've got 0, 1, 2, and 3 unlocked, and I've made them and fitted them into my freighter base, which I'll go through in a bit. And then I can store stuff in here, and I don't really need to worry too much about how much cargo I have here, because I've got so much in the base that I can access as and when I like when I'm in the freighter, unless I have the matter beam fitted. Now the matter beam lets me transfer items from my exosuit and starship anywhere in the galaxy to my freighter. My freighter can be somewhere else, it can be in a different system, doesn't matter. I can transfer it from there to there into this storage here. And these storage containers are the same ones you would fit in a planetary base. So if you had storage container 0 fitted in your base, and this would storage container 0 fitted in your freighter, it would have the same items because they're the same storage container. So you can transfer them to and from nice and easy. You can access them to and from your base, from your freighter. Doesn't matter which one it is. Now let's take a look at the base building component of the freighter. So you can build a significant base in your freighter, and there are customization options such as color and placement within the build area, which I'm told is 21 by 21 floors, or 14 by 21 by 21. It's like 14 stories high, or is it 15 stories high? It's one of the two, and you get 21 by 21 floors. It's quite a big area. So let's have a look at the upgrade system here and go to base building and parts. Now we've got the craftable blueprints, which we've been through. Then we've got the freighter construction modules, and we've got, you know, the standard like corridor here. We've got the bulkhead door, the glass corridor, stairs, various exterior catwalks so you can walk out in space on top of your freighter. Internal freighter wall and some other stairs and some ladders. Then you've got all these different rooms. Like here's the first storage one, which is 50. If we go across, we get freighter recoloring, as I mentioned. And my base is up in here. And if we have a look around, I'll show you what each one does, because I have fitted one of everything as far as I'm aware. So we've got the galactic trade terminal you can have in your base, similar to the planetary base, of course. You access this just like you would in a space station. You can buy items, and you can sell items via your inventory exosuit or even your freighter inventory here. So that's pretty good. So we can do that. We have the planetary probe, which I love because we can go into this. It will scan the system you're in, and it will give you a scan of the entire system. So you don't have to scan each one with your starship, and then we can find out what one we want to go to before we even get into our starship out of our freighter. So we know what they've got. Decaying nuclear planet, gamma root, copper, uranium, salt. And we can also upload them, and they will all be uploaded as well. We've got 270 nanites for that. And we've now discovered all of these, discovered by Caster Penn, because I scanned them during the scanatory probe here. You can also just have industrial rooms, which I've created this room. Got a heater in here. I can search these boxes. Now, most of these boxes and things were here as I purchased this freighter, so I didn't put any of these in. They were already here. Unfortunately, I'm not really finding much. But we can do another heater here. So we've got these industrial rooms which I can put things in. So if I went into my build menu here by pressing up now, went across, if I wanted to put a hazard protection unit in, I could do that if I had the required technology. Now here's the other rooms here, the storage room. So it said 0, didn't it? Which means I've unlocked them all. And as you can see, I've used 0, 1, 2 and 3. I've still got 4 to 9 to make. So there's 10 storage rooms you can have maximum. And then like if I want to put the cube here, I could put a cube there, whatever. In this industrial room, I could make like a home for myself, have a desk and a bed or whatever, which is quite cool. I do like having that aesthetic in my freighter, to be honest. If we go around here, we'll do that in a bit. This is the fleet command room. Now, before you can send any frigate expeditions out, you have to have a fleet command room here. And at the moment, I've got no expedition assigned. And the fleet is standing by. But when you first get one of these and you click on it like this, it will give you the recipes for, we go back into here, the frigate fuel. So you get the 50 tons, 200 tons and 100 ton frigate fuel recipes. And it's all just a hydrogen and tritium, and it's just varying amount of those. Also have a teleport room, because you've got to have a base terminus teleport room there. Very nice. We continue on down. We've got the research units here. So this is the science guy. So the overseer, the weapons terminal guy, the science guy in front of me here, the exocraft guy as well. You can have those in your freighter base. There's the weapons dude, look. And then you can complete their missions from here. You don't have to have them in a base on your planet. You can have them moving around with you. I mean, that's pretty cool. I like having them in here. I much prefer it. I've also got the agricultural guy here. Have I got an agricultural guy? Oh no, sorry, that's the nutrient processor. So the nutrient processor you have on, we've got some leg meat and some liver there. We can not make anything with that apparently. We'll go into there. We've got ingredient storage, which I can put some stuff in. Blah 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 blah. You can create all kinds of food, like you'd have your nutrient processor on you personally. That's pretty cool. We can then grow plants here. We can have a whole growing area. These are just carbon areas. If we go into our build menu, go across, I can have the double cultivation chamber. So I'll just fit that in, and then I can have a load of plants growing in here, and I can harvest all the plants. Let's see if I can put in the agricultural specialist room. I can. And let's bring him in. I don't have a farmer yet. I thought I didn't, but there you go. We can have him in here as well. So we've got a lovely farm going. That looks really cool in there, don't it? I do like the farm room. I've also got this stellar extractor core. So if we go in here, this is now extracting chromatic metal because we are in a yellow star system. So these stellar extractor cores, if we were in a red star system, I believe it would be sulfurine. If we were in a green, it would be radon. If we were in a blue, it would be nitrogen. And if we were in a gas giant purple system, it would be methane. And that's what they would collect. And then we would be able to take that straight out of these stellar extractor cores and have that for creating different items. We also have a large refiner room. So we can have 3 inputs in here. And we can refine whatever we like. That's quite nice. I do like that as well. And if we go back over here to where you saw the ladder, we go up the ladder. Hello, Mr. Ladder. We have a bunch of storage containers. This is where my 4 storage containers are. This is where I put them, so they're out of the way. And there is a bit of murky crap up here, but you know, hey ho. Oh, I've gone down. I don't want to go down. Go back up. Go outside. This is one of those outside walkways. We're out into space on my freighter. And look, there's the damned frigate. There's a Normandy frigate. There's 2 frigates that I've purchased. We'll go into my build menu. I'll just show you what else we've got in here. We've got this, the weapon rack, which is really cool because we can store weapons on there. Also build this in your base on a planet. I like to build this near the weapons guy. So I'm going to build it up here because I fancy building it there. Why not? And then this multi-tool archive is really cool because I can just put in there what I don't want to use. I'm going to sell this one. They're just going to sit in there. And we can store a load. We can have up to 18 multi-tools, I believe now we can have. I'll have 6 on us and then some in here. It's really cool. I do like that. Very nice indeed. We also have an appearance modifier over here in the corner. So just like in the space station and outlaw station, and also in like your planetary base, you can change your appearance when you like. Various lights and other things like these things we can put. We can put these in here. Yeah. Okay. We've got. Let me put this in the industrial rooms I made. Just stick this in here if I really want to. Probably get rid of it later, but hey ho. All kinds of weird stuff in here. Look at that. Got a bit of a mare, haven't you? And then, yeah, all these skeletons, all these fossil displays I have, and random other things. We can also put loads of posters up if we want to. I do like having posters in my freighter, etc. So let's talk about the bridge and the frigates that we have for our freighter here. So I mentioned the upgrade control. I've also mentioned the freighter warp map. We then have manage fleet. And if we go into here, manage our fleet, we can see our frigate list. And I have 4. I have a C, a B, and 2 S's. These are expedition rewards. These 2, the Ship of the Damned and the Normandy there, these 2 are regular frigates. If we come out of that and go back in, we've also got manage our squadron, manage Starship Archive. And look, here's my starship. So I can also store starships in my Starship Archive, which is pretty cool as well, isn't it? Just put them in there if I really want to. I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to put you in there. You can stay in there. So we can also, just like the multi-tool archive, we've got the Starship Archive in our manage fleet section. This guy here is our navigator. I'm not going to try and say his name. He, on the other hand, gives us expeditions. So this is where we can send out our fleet on expeditions. We've got the rating here, difficulty rating, none of which are above 2 stars, which is not great. We don't even have an industrial one here. We have a trade one I might do, but we've got combat, balanced, 2 balanced, 2 combat, and trade. So if I was to click on one of these, assign my ships, let's just like assign you 2 will do. I would need it would tell me the fuel required in terms of tonnage. I could also put some of those temporary frigate upgrades in to help them on their expedition. Then I'll send them out and then they'll take a bit of time. Let me see if I can build some frigate fuel. So I don't have any hydrogen to build frigate fuel, but once they are out on their mission, it will take however long it's said in the expedition mission, so 2 whatever hours, and they will appear here. And then once they are back, we can talk to them and they will give us a load of rewards, which is quite nice. And we can also talk to them mid-flight and abandon the expedition if we really want to. So frigates come in 5 different types. They come in combat, support, industrial, expedition, and trade. So they also come in the standard, as you see here, C, B, A, and S class. But unlike the ships, when you send these out on expeditions, they have the chance to actually go up in class, which is quite nice. So this C class could go up to B and all the way up to S eventually, and so could this B class. So that's quite nice. I do like that. I like the fact that they actually upgrade themselves. And each time they do upgrade to another class, I think it takes off 250 light years of the fuel cost, which is quite nice. So obviously, with the different types, the combat, expedition, industrial, trade, and support, they are specialised in that. So a combat one is specialised in the combat. The only difference is the support one. It's kind of like an all-rounder ship or frigate rather than being specialised. And like I said earlier, with the frigates, you can purchase those by going up to any freighter group and talking to the frigates, or destroying the pirate dreadnoughts and speaking to the pirate frigates there. You can also have a squadron. So manage my squadron here. Now, these need to be unlocked. So the first one's 800 nanites. The second one's 3,500. The next one is a lot more than that. I think it's something like 4,000, or is it? No, it's more than that, isn't it? Is it 7,000 something? I can't remember what that one is, but the last one's 10,000 nanites, I believe. I think. And you can also upgrade the starships that you asked to be part of your squadron. So if I went into a space station or onto a trade terminal or whatever, and I spoke to a pilot of a starship, I could ask them to be part of my squadron now, and they would appear here. And then I can also upgrade their starship for nanites. So I think C to B is 1,200, B to A is 4,100, and A to S is 9,500 nanites, but let me know. In the past, I've used these squadron slots once. And in the past, I found them to be annoying more than anything else when you're fighting battles. They just kind of get in the way. They're a bit frustrating, so I haven't got them. But let me know if this has sorted itself out. I haven't seen any updates in the release logs that Hello Games published for No Man's Sky, whether they've sorted this out or not. But for me, this just drives me a bit insane, so I don't actually use them. So just to note here, there is some other information. Okay, the NPC freighters, which are in a fight with pirates or a dreadnought, cannot actually defend themselves. The NPC ships look like they're shooting at the pirates, but it does absolutely no damage whatsoever. The freighter battles, the pirate battles or the dreadnought freighter battles, they are scripted. So if you warp into a system and it triggers the freighter battle, you can reload and continue to jump into a new system. A freighter battle will occur again, and you can keep doing that until you get the one you want. But be careful, because you will need to complete the reload before purchasing a new freighter. And just remember that exiting your starship in a freighter that you do not own will not create a save point. Alright, so if you fight that freighter and you already have one, you land on it, you jump out of the ship, that isn't going to create a resave point. It will only happen when you purchase the new freighter. Then it will do a save point. And of course, you can summon your freighter into any system that you're in, as long as you've got the correct upgrade for your freighter hyperdrive. One last thing I like to do is, if I do have a base, is go to my summon freighter here, and I like to bring it in to just in the planet orbit. And probably not the best planet to do this in, but you get the idea. Right up there now, looks really cool in orbit. So there you go, guys, that is Freighters Explained. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If there's anything that I've missed, please do let me know down in the comments. Let other people know as well in that way. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next No Man's Sky video. Take care out there, and bye-bye.